Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kofi Efrifad from University of Computer Engineering, and I'm presenting on the design of intelligent GPRS GSM payment system. But this is my presentation online. We will look at the existing technologies, benefits of the products, product design, product and its operation, product testing, the impacts of the system. Then we will look at them. Now, but first of all, before we continue with the project, we need to know the current electricity billing and payment system in Ghana. And there are currently two types of billing system in Ghana. We have the credit system, whereby you use energy, and then at the end of the day, the ECG personnel will come around and then take bill of it and prepare it for you. And then we have the postpaid, whereby consumers go to ECG centers, buy energy units on their card or on a voucher, and then go and then slot it into their meter. When the amount of unit that they purchase gets finished, then their light is cut off. Now, remote billing system is based on GPRS GSM technology to activate the meters or perform energy auditing through SMS. What this basically means is that users now don't have to be in hectic traffic or to join queues to get energy on their cards or on vouchers, but they can use SMS to purchase energy from wherever they are in Ghana. Now, the system element is basically made up of three modules. We have the communication system that has to do with the communication from the ECG server to the consumer meters. And then we have the management system that deals with the various auditing and then the computation and then the management of the system. Now, because the current energy meter that we have now cannot support this application, there will be a need to build an embedded system or embedded application to interface with the current system so that it can give me the GPRS and the GSM support that I require of the system. There are existing technologies that are used. There is the e-transact software technologies whereby consumers pay for their energy use through the banks. And then ECG tried to develop a similar technology by using PLC communication. In this case, they use the power lines to send energy and at the same time to send information on it. But there were some difficulties that they encountered when I contacted them during this project. And the already existing one that we use, that the use of the cards to purchase our energy on. Now, the benefit of this product, the product affords both the electricity utility company and the users of electricity the following advantages. Users' ability to regulate or control their own consumption remotely through their mobile devices. What this basically means that if for one reason or the other you are traveling away for a number of years or days, and maybe you decided to spend 6 days or 7 days and you intended to extend it, you can send an SMS to ECG to put your light on or off within a certain duration. And then users to activate or recharge meters via their credit facilities on their phone using SMS from any location in the country to their meters. Now, utility companies do to also remotely carry out energy audits and check consumption patterns at users' premises. In this case, they don't need to send any personnel to come around and read, because as you speak now, ECG does not know exactly how much this meter consumes, how much that meter consumes. They base it on the amount of units that you've purchased with your card. But with this system, ECG can be in their office and they know exactly, ever since you purchased the meter, the consumption pattern over the years, and then based on that, they can make further analysis on it. The product design and the architecture. Currently, this is the kind of architecture that I am proposing. Now, from the ECG, I can't see very well. Yeah. From the ECG central office, power is then distributed to the substations, and from there, they go into certain algorithm to distribute power. Power into the various houses for us to get power to use. What I'm proposing is that the various houses might have a GPRS, a GSM interface embedded in their system, and then they can connect directly to ECG server, and ECG can send remote communication between them, as in turning the meters off, turning it on, knowing your consumption pattern, and doing all sorts of things. They can, the advantage of the project can be scaled further by knowing how much power travels on each lines, and know all sorts of voltage, current regulations. Now, this is the product design and architecture for one section of the product that has to do with consumers buying energy units with their vouchers or using their core credit. This is the algorithm that it goes through from there to the telecommunications up to ECG. Then ECG fetches the various meters and then send the energy to them. I don't think time will allow me to go through. Now, basically, this is the project prototype. I programmed this board. This is an interface board that I'm going to embed in the ECG meter. And on this board, there are microcontrollers. There is a GPRS model on it. So let's say that this black line represents the main line coming to your house, at 240 volts. From this, I can step it down a little bit to 12 volts to power this board, even though this board has a battery that can last for more than 400 hours. So this light represents your household. So over here, you buy the energy unit either with your core credit or with the vouchers that will be outside, just like the various core vouchers that we have. So let's say at night, let's say there is a match between Manchester United and Barca, which I am a Man U supporter. And then maybe your light goes off. And at that time, all the ECG vending shops are off. That does not mean that you are going to forfeit the match. Yes. But if you have... I guess. But let's say if you have maybe 10 Ghana cedis amount of unit on your phone, you can just sacrifice part of it to watch the match for the 90 minutes, and then afterwards maybe you'll go off again. But if you have more money, you can then and enjoy more of the energy. So the project basically take care of situations whereby we can't go to ECG offices, or whereby we have to join hectic queues just to get energy. The product testing and then finding, to test the product, there were two procedures that I used. Vouchers were generated, which are highly encrypted based on the AES encryption, and then they will be out just like the normal voucher that we have. So you buy them, you just test it with your meter ID, and straight it goes up. You don't need to travel very far. And then the meter has a certain number. I don't think that any of the telecommunications sponsored me through this project, so I don't want to advertise the number that was used, just like my other colleagues. But it had a Ghanaian number on it, a SIM on it that you saw in the previous slide. That is the communication between the meter and the ECG server. As I said earlier on, the incandescent bulb mimicked the meter in the house, because during the time of the presentation, the development, the meter wasn't available for me to interface with. After testing, there were a lot of issues that came up. That the maximum number of time that each response hit the ECG server was 7 seconds. And then to solve the problem of congestion, the FIFO was used, first in, first out. So every request that comes into the meter is being put in a queue. And it wouldn't be in a situation that maybe 100 people or more are sending requests. That doesn't mean that the system is going to jam. But this thing take care of it. Now in a situation whereby, due to poor coverage in that particular area where you have your meter, your network goes off, the system will continue to try within a 5 to 10 minutes interval based on the strength of the queue. And if a consumer sends a wrong message, it doesn't even get to the server side. There are triggers on the databases that clears them off to aid the wrong messages that come into the system. There are a lot of impact for this system. It's going to increase revenue by both ECG and then the telecommunication, because a lot of people are now going to test more, and then ECG too wouldn't need to pay for people to now go to houses to go and read and connect with people during the reading or fault any of the readings. Now ECG also has a remote control all over the energy meters now. You can sit in your office and do a whole lot of stuff. ECG can do proper analysis based on reports generated and then consumers can enjoy the luxury in payment and then avoiding headache queues. Thank you very much.
I will let our panel ask a few questions, and then we'll continue with those. My first question is, I think you answered it a little bit, but I wanted to know, in trying to, you say you created vouchers for them. So when you buy a voucher worth of something with your airtime, is that it?
There are basically two ways of payment.
Sorry.
Hello. Now, there are basically two modes of payment. There are the voucher system that will be distributed in the market, just like the core vouchers that we have. And then you can also purchase with your core credit. So you might have, maybe currently you have about 10 Ghana cedis or 20 Ghana cedis worth of units, right, on your phone. You can sacrifice part of it on your pay.
I think you have a challenge with the units one. Just because, let's say with Airtel has a package like 888, somebody is doing 555, 222. If I'm sacrificing, what worth, how will you convert the worth of it to energy, as an energy unit? Because if the time comes and somebody is doing 222, maybe every one of us will go and buy the 222.
I don't really get your question, but what happens is that when it comes to the core credit, the amount of unit that you have, you know, with the core, we have the amount in currency, like maybe 20 Ghana cedis or whatever. So there's a communication between the telecommunication and then the ECG. So the message will be routed to the telecommunication first before getting to the energy distance. So over there, if maybe you want to sacrifice 10 Ghana cedis, now when
it's sacrifice 10 Ghana cedis worth of your airtime.
Yes. So over there, instead of sacrificing 10 Ghana cedis of your airtime, then the telecommunication also have to authenticate that whether you have that amount of money in your account before instructing ECG to send that its equivalent unit into your.
That's a virtual voucher.
Yeah.
Let's senior.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think I'll kickstart the questioning.
Yeah, but please, he's not the only person. There were other guys.
This one to Joseph.
Okay.
Budu. Quick one. Was there any, rejected ballots in your case? Because in Ghana, no matter the elections, we encounter rejected ballots for papers. That's one.
Thank you very much. I cannot say because
You did not ask.
I did not ask.
All right. Thank you. Then to CAN CMS. CAN CMS. I mean, for me, I get fascinated when I see over. You say over 100 people are using this. Over 100 people. I tend to, such statistics. They are question mark. So I'm not impressed at all by over 100, blah blah blah. So yes. Then what I would say is yes, it's a good system, but then like we keep fighting for the ICT 4D policy to be properly implemented. You see, in India, from an article I was reading, in each district they have an IT officer or information technology officer. So they are talking about diverging or sending the ICT to the rural areas. There are a lot of people there to handle it. I just came back from, they call the place Kajelo in the upper east region, some village there. They have a computer alright, but when it gets spoiled, somebody just come and try to troubleshoot it anyhow. Whether it work or not, at the end of the day, you collect some money and leave the people. See, so we have people down there who are not actually helping. So that I believe with the technology that you're coming up with, when we have these people on the ground, at least all things will be well. Then the ECG and the water people, I think it's a good system. But you see, there are a lot of challenges For instance, some few years back with the Ministry of Local Government and something, I think Mr. Samoa, yeah, they came out with something that they will be collecting tolls from people in the market. I think after a month or so, the thing fizzled out. You see, so there are challenges. Procuring the meter, the meter for all the digital meter for the various household will be a challenge. So unless we decide to go for some funding to address that, the batteries. So we need to look at ways to fund such a projects. But they are very good projects which I believe it will curtail some of the bad. You see, for some of if you decide to visit the electricity company office where people come and pay bills, the hassle and struggles that go on there. And for some of the staff there, I think at times they need some insurance. Because some people come fully angered to fight them. But with such system in place, I believe this is to be resolved. And that also means that the policymakers might ensure that at least people are on the ground to address some of these challenges. So, thumbs up to you from the Premier University.
Yeah, wait. You have got panel members who will respond to
Yeah. Hello?
We want constructive and critical.
Yeah. For all this that you've presented, for instance, the mobile payment, the electricity, automatic water meter reading and stuff like that, you want to operate them as businesses or you want to sell them as solutions to the various sectors? That is one thing you have to look at. Because for all things that we are developing, you need to have some kind of business models behind them. It is time we in Ghana, that is what we are trying to develop through the Ghana Multimedia Incubator Center program. And we're trying to pick up these innovative ideas and develop them into businesses. And we have the incubator program running now, developing some ideas. It's just strike me that most of the things that we're talking about, you can put them together, you get it, and have some kind of partnership. For instance, the mobile payments, the M-comments, and the automatic meter reading, and then the electricity one. If the four of you come together, it's going to be a very powerful innovation, and you're going to have all the kind of components and all the grounds covered. The business module is going to be covered, the technical is going to be covered. For the M-commerce, we have a program called ISOCO. I don't know if you are aware of ISOCO. It's a program that we support, the UNDP, and it's also into things like that. So I don't know if you would want a link up with ISOCO and see how you can also further the discussions with them, whether you want to form partnerships with ISOCO or stuff like that. But I know that this kind of solutions that you have, your universities also have some kind of stake in it, and that is where it becomes tricky. For instance, there are some projects that we brought from KNUST to the incubator and some other universities to the incubator, and we had to have a lot of dialogue before we could develop them into business ideas. I did computer engineering myself, and I'm not shocked about the kind of innovations that are coming from computer engineering program. I did it at KNUST, and for my time, we also had kind of these ideas, and every successful business in the Ghana Incubator Center now is from tech. Okay, so it's good. We can explore and see how we can develop further. Whether you want to form partnerships, whether you want to sell the idea to the sectors, or whether you want to run them as businesses yourself.